Uh, well, first of all, everything Trump has done is legal. There's precedent, case precedent. There is law, the existing law, and everything Trump has done is legal. It's not like Trump has weaponized the Department of Justice and the IRS and the FBI and the CIA and the NSA as others have done before him. And what he's doing is legal. As the decisions come through from the upper courts, we're finding out that those things are indeed constitutional. Now, there's a rule, according to Democrats, that if we do it, it must be legal, or if we get caught, then somebody else did it first. The whataboutism we've had discussions about. And yes, both sides do it. So I'll be the first to agree with you on that.
Yeah, Larry, I'm glad you just said that. Isn't this just American politics? I mean, isn't
It,
this what we do?
it is, but I think it's taken to extremes.
I agree.
And one side, who my personal belief began this slide in that direction, is guilty of taking it to extremes. And then when that same process is used against them, that's when they scream, "This isn't right. This is unfair."
Right.
Now, again, that's common from both sides. If Republicans have done something that is untoward or a first time of doing things, then the Democrats do it. Then Republicans claim that's unfair. Democrats, the opposite is true.
Larry,
So,
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
Well, didn't we see the Democrats weaponize the DOJ to have 34 felonies on Trump when he didn't do anything wrong?
Well, actually, the four cases, the four prosecutors that came against him, only one of them succeeded in anything, and that was a civil case. And that was, of course, done in New York, where you could indict a ham sandwich, and apparently also find him guilty, unless you throw the ham sandwich at an ICE agent, then it's different.
Oh, yeah.
But
What about that? What about that?
The grand jury wouldn't indict for throwing the sandwich at the ice guy.
I know, but it's
Well,
an assault.
well,
I don't think it is.
the
Oh,
grand
It's
jury,
stupid, but it's not an assault.
yeah, the grand jury, yes, it is an assault, absolutely. The grand jury, the January 6th protesters, and for one reason or another, a lot of those were set aside before Trump gave him pardons. But the point is that they overcharged him. If they had charged him with simple assault, then it should have stuck. But an aggravated assault or assault to commit bodily harm just isn't going to stand up on a ham sandwich. So I have to give them credit on that. The grand jury, I think, probably did the right thing. It was just the wrong charge.
Right.
Go ahead, your turn.
Um, well, I guess as a person who's bought and sold real estate, the mortgage information is not private. If you go and look up your address at the county courthouse, it'll tell you what the taxes are, who your mortgage company is, who holds the
Exactly.
lien of the house. So that's not private information. Never has been. We've been trying to get it private because a lot of police officers and so on and so forth, judges, their stuff is open like that too. So it's not necessarily safe for them. So, but we just can't seem to get it done. I don't know why, but we just can't seem to get it done. But you can't live in one state and get a mortgage rate saying that that's your primary address and live in another state and say that's your primary address too.
Right.
That's what they're in trouble for. And that's illegal.
Oh,
That's absolutely illegal. You cannot do it. It's fraud.
Yeah.
So-
Dorsey,
Yes.
she was confronted with this, and she hasn't denied any of it
No, she has not.
at all.
No.
So she's not she's not protesting her firing based on a false statement. She's protesting her firing because she's pissed off.
Yes.
That's, plain and simple.
Well, she got caught.
Yep.
She got caught. And I mean, I get it, but I don't understand what happens with these folks. And I'm not saying that this is just on the other side of the aisle, right? Nobody's above the law. You cannot do things like this. And absolutely, I've seen the paperwork. I looked it up. I actually went on the New York court websites and looked up their properties. I saw what I saw. Please don't court websites and looked up their properties. I saw what I saw. Please don't sit there and shake your head and tell me that that's not true. I saw what they said.
Different reasons.
Oh, okay.
And we'll take it to you.
Yes, please.
All right, thank you. I've read that these kind of clerical errors are not prosecuted if they're paying on the mortgage and they're current on the mortgage, and all the evidence is these prominent Democrats that have been singled out for investigations are current and paying on their mortgages, and under normal conditions, they're not investigated. And like I said earlier, a prominent Republican, Ken Paxton, is not under investigation. So if the Trump DOJ opens up an investigation of Ken Paxton, then I'll believe this is on the level. But until then, I'm going to see that this is partisan weaponization. I mean, Trump ran on retribution, and he's getting retribution. He's mad as heck at these folks.
Wait a minute. What do you mean he ran on rep?
No, he didn't.
I don't remember hearing that.
He said in a speech, "I am your retribution." That's what he said. I am your retribution.
He said the people electing him are the retribution to what Democrats had done.
Yes, that's what he said.
Donald Trump, quote, "I am your retribution," end of quote. He means what he says what he means. He requires no filter or decoder ring. That's what the man said.
Dennis, that's out of context.
Yes.
And I think you know it. The whole conversation was based around his election. The fact that he had been elected was the retribution. So in fact,
let me give some context here. During the campaign, there was an article I read last year. He singled out 70 people for investigations or prosecution during his 2024 campaign. So there's the context that I'm looking at, Larry, just to give you my point of view.
But that's American politics.
No, it's not.
That's
Yes,
what
it
you guys
is.
did to Trump.
I strongly disagree.
And here's another thing. You just said that it was a clerical error.
That's what Lisa Cook said.
And okay.
But here's
but
the big,
hang on. So but she's paying her mortgage. She's not late or whatever, so it shouldn't be a big deal.
lawyer. The felony case, 34 felony convictions, was he covered up his affair with Stormy Daniels during the 2016
That's not what you prosecuted
campaign.
him on.
That's what he's prosecuted
No,
for.
it was
There's
not.
two cases. There's a civil case, there's a criminal case. The criminal case was his cover-up of his affair with Stormy Daniels on the closing day of 2016 election cycle. He paid her money to buy her silence and withheld material information from the voters just before a close election.
Just
That
like
was
George Soros does.
Well, give me an individual case by George Soros. Please cite one for me, please.
He hires this company to bring in protesters. He hires people who are not who they are. It's always obvious because they all have the same signs.
Well, and let me tell you about the civil case. Was Trump inflated the value of his properties to get a lower interest rate mortgage rate, and the damages award was thrown out. It's still on appeal, but the finding of liability for civil fraud still stands. That finding of civil fraud by a court still stands. But here's the big picture: is the Biden DOJ didn't weaponize. It was not weaponized. The Biden DOJ prosecuted and convicted Hunter Biden, the president's son. They convicted Robert Menendez and his wife for some kind of fraud. I can't remember what the heck it was. It was bad.
They took bribes.
Okay, it was wife for some.
Took bribes.
Okay, it was bad. I'm glad they convicted him. Henry Cuellar was indicted for some kind of fraud or bribes or something like that. And Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, a Democrat, was indicted for bribes or frauds. So the Biden DOJ, they went after prominent Democrats. And here's the thing about Trump.
But they only went after those people after they started saying nice things about Trump.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Who are you
Yes,
talking
sir.
about? I don't
The
follow your-
mayor of New York.
No. Here's what happened with the mayor of New York was he was indicted by the Biden DOJ, and then the Trump administration cut a deal with him and said, if you'll say nice things about Trump and enforce our immigration policies, we'll dismiss the charges against you. It was a corrupt bargain.
That's politics.
No, it was corruption.
Okay.
The
Hunter Biden bringing in cocaine to the White House. What's that? Is that illegal?
Well, there's no evidence he brought it into the White House, but if he did, it's illegal, Mac.
And then his father pardoned him after saying, I will not pardon my son, Hunter Biden.
But here's the thing about Trump. He is above the law. The U.S. Supreme Court, I should say the 6 Republicans in the U.S. Supreme Court, ruled that he's above the law. He's immune, a completely crazy decision. There's absolutely nothing in the Constitution about the president being above the law. There's nothing in there that says he's immune. And Alexander Hamilton, either at the Constitutional Convention or the Federalist Papers, said the president is not above the law. And here's the big picture is Trump. Legal experts thought he would have been found guilty in the intelligence documents case and the January 6th case, and that's why the Supreme Court essentially gave him a pardon by ruling he was immune. And in the proceedings in the Florida case regarding the intelligence documents, Judge Eileen Cannon, a Trump appointee, she delayed the proceedings and strung him out because she knew he was probably going to be found guilty by a jury. So these were legitimate prosecutions, and these decisions by the Republicans in the Supreme Court and Judge Cannon vindicates that.
Well, that may be. I can't really speak to that because I don't have that level of expertise. But I can say that it helps your side out just as well. They can't touch Obama on any of the crap that he's done. They can't touch Clinton on any of the crap that he's done. And it's all documented. We all know he did it. They all know, and they cannot be touched. So,
Okay, I just want to jump in here.
yes.
And kind of get back to the original. Well, we're talking about Trump paying off. Jump in here.
Yes.
And kind of get back to the original. Well, we're talking about Trump paying off Stormy Daniels. Clinton got off lightly after he paid $850,000 to Paula Jones. Served as governor. And Trump paid off, what was it, $130,000. The difference is, and I'm not sure there's a difference with the distinction,
Big difference.
that Trump used his lawyer. Trump actually didn't use his lawyer. His lawyer made the decision to pay Stormy Daniels off, and then Trump reimbursed the lawyer. Trump called him legal fees because he was reimbursing his lawyer for something the lawyer did without his direct consent. So I'm curious as to how one president paying $850,000, who, by the way, played with that tax wise. I don't think that showed up. I'd like to see how that came out in the taxes.
I can explain it to you, Larry, if you'd like me to.
Yes, hang on, just let me finish
Go
my
ahead.
thought.
Sorry.
I get squirreled easily, but the fact that $130,000 payoff that Trump paid back to his lawyer in payments. If you pay off somebody, or if your lawyer pays off somebody, and then you repay your lawyer, how do you put that in the books? If you pay your lawyer something, is that not a legal expense?
Well, here's my point is
No, if you could
Go ahead,
address
Larry.
that first and then go on to your point.
I'm not familiar with that aspect of the case, Larry, but here's the big picture on the hush money Stormy Daniels case is Trump withheld material information from voters just before a very close election. If it had come out in the last week for the 2016 election that he had an affair with a porn star, he might have lost. Instead,
I think everybody knew that, though.
No, they didn't.
Wait a minute.
They didn't know it until after the election.
Clinton had an affair with Lewinsky just before an election, was impeached for it just before an election, and he hid his payments to Paula Jones.
No, he didn't. Let me tell you about.
So-
Yeah, I don't
no, he
even
didn't. It was
remember
not
this.
hidden at all. Paula Jones sued Bill Clinton in the Federal District Court of Arkansas for alleged sexual harassment. The trial judge dismissed the case because Jones couldn't prove any damages. So the case went on appeal to the Eighth Circuit, And before the oral arguments in the Eighth Circuit, this was during Clinton's second term, he paid a settlement to Paula Jones of $850,000 just to get it behind him. It was strictly political. I mean, Paula Jones' allegations were aired during his first term. She sued him during his first term. She held press conferences. She gave interviews. She was all over the media, and he was reelected handily in '96. And then, like I said, the trial judge dismissed the lawsuit for lack of proof of damages. They went up to the Eighth Circuit, and he settled the case before the Eighth Circuit heard the case. Quite frankly, I think Clinton should have just let the Eighth Circuit hear the case, because I think they would have affirmed the dismissal of the case, because there's no damages. There's no proof of damages.
Okay, so we have both sides paying people off. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is.
But here's the difference: is Trump covered up something from the voters. Bill Clinton did.
Kind of like Biden did with the laptop.
I don't know. I can't remember the allegations about that. That is such a twisted story. It wouldn't have changed the election in 2020.
Oh, it certainly would have.
Trump blew the pandemic.
Yes.
It was a complete catastrophe the way he handled it.
All right. I hate to bring up this last topic, but I'm going to do it. This Maxwell woman, Epstein's person,
Okay.
gave 9 hours of testimony and said that Trump, as well as Clinton, were never involved in anything illegal through her or Epstein. And I saw you put on the air, or not on the air, I'm sorry. You put online that she was lying.
Well, I said she had serious credibility problems. I'm always talk in a very lawyerly way about legal issues. Here's my point. Is she was indicted for perjury by the Trump Justice Department during his first term. The prosecutor that prosecuted her and ended up with a plea bargain with her said that she had serious credibility problems. She was recently transferred by the Trump administration from a pretty nasty prison, I think in Florida, to a cushy Club Fed in Texas. Her living conditions are now much better. She's angling for a pardon from Trump. No guarantee she'll get one. So, of course, she's going to say Trump was a perfect gentleman because she wants a pardon, and she's grateful for the transfer.
Okay, but the facts of the matter are that she said Trump and Clinton weren't involved in this. And I don't understand how you can say she's not credible.
Because she's a perjurer. But here's my...
Everybody is a perjurer.
I don't think so. I've never committed perjury, and I've testified under oath at times, Mac.
Okay. On this show, you're a perjurer.
Oh, baloney. but let me make a point. Ghislaine Maxwell's testimony, it's not the Epstein files. That's completely... Pam Bondi said the files were on her desk back in February. A portion of them she did. A portion of them have been turned over to a House committee investigating it, but they've not released the complete files. I think they should release the complete files, redact the victim information as soon as possible. So let's get them released. Let's see what happened. My educated guess is that Trump and Clinton were not involved in criminal activity. It was probably going to be embarrassing being friends with a scumbag like Jeffrey Epstein. That's probably what the bottom line is. That's my theory. Take it for what it's worth, guys.
Well, I have to be honest. When she said that neither Trump nor Clinton were ever improper, after we know that Clinton was neither Trump nor were ever on the Lolita Express and on the island dozens, not once or twice, dozens of times, and that Trump never went there, I have problem with her credibility after that. So, I'm blown away by it. The fact that Trump said, he wasn't really going to be involved in any pardon or anything else. He made very clear that she got moved. Well, has that ever been done before, Dennis? Has a prisoner or has a subject ever gotten preferential treatment because they cooperated with the district attorney?
Trump wasn't involved in that at all.
Well, his appointee made the transfer. And I mean, they violated prison rules. Sex offenders are not allowed to be in minimum security prisons. They violated prison rules. Here's the thing. If a Trump administration official makes a decision that he doesn't like, he fires them. He's fired a lot of people he didn't
That's
didn't
what
agree
you do
with
in business.
So obviously he agreed to the transfer. Otherwise, he would have fired the guy that made the decision to transfer him.
Okay. You're really stretching it.
I'm not. He would have been fired. I mean, Trump fired the guy at BLS that gave the the bad jobs report. He fired a guy at the Defense Intelligence Agency that said Iran's
That's what
nuclear people were not
happens in
obliterated.
business.
He fires people that say stuff that's inconvenient to him. He fires people that make him look bad. If he fires people that make decisions he doesn't like. He would have fired the person that made the transfer if he had a problem with
television
it.
show about firing people. This is what he does. If you fail, he fires you.
He fires people that present inconvenient facts that
If
contradict.
you failed,
He's got every legal right to do that. During his first administration, he made a mistake, and he went in there bipartisan. He allowed moles and bad actors to stay in positions that they shouldn't have been in. They turned on him. They lied about him. They conspired against him. And coming back on the second one, he vowed that was not going to happen again. And I don't blame him a bit.
It's about his judgment or lack thereof.
all right. Well, thank you for joining us today, Larry, over in Nevada, Iowa. We appreciate you. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today, Larry. Appreciate you being both in the studio. We've had this for a long time, so thank you very much. And we will see you again next Friday at 10 a.m. for Counterpoint Omaha. I'm Mac McCoy, and if I haven't told you lately, thanks for listening. I love my job, and I couldn't do it without you. And thanks, of course, to Divine Truth Christian Store for their worldwide coverage and sponsorship.